Hey everyone, so here is a quick diagram on what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be deploying this Node.js application to our Kubernetes cluster, and we're gonna be using Docker as well. So the first step is when we push our changes to the main branch or any branch you wanna trigger, we're gonna trigger the GitHub Actions Workflow, and the GitHub, we're gonna check out my code. It's gonna install the .ctl. This is the CLI we're gonna be using because we're gonna be using our DigitalOcean. So this is the Kubernetes provider for us. And after that, it's gonna log in to the DigitalOcean registry, which is like the GitHub images where they are pushed. And after that, it's gonna build and push the Docker image there. After it's done, it's gonna update our K8s configs, our Kubernetes configs. The first one is it's going to apply our deployment configuration. We're going to be defining this file. After that, it's going to apply our service. It's going to apply our ingress, and it's going to apply our cluster issuer. And after that, it's going to create our secrets. So if you have .env environment files, this is where we're going to be defining them. And for this apply ingress and apply cluster issuer, this is where we're going to be like defining or getting our HTTPS certificates, certificate manager, etc. And after that, it has done that, we're gonna check deployment status. So we're gonna check if the deployment status is okay before we can overwrite our existing deployed version. And if the deployed status is okay, we're gonna go ahead and push this to the production, and so we can start using this. And after that, this will be the deployment complete, and it's gonna be the same process over again. So this will happen automatically every time you push changes to your GitHub, but it's gonna trigger the main branch, but you can change this and you can push to whatever you want, like staging, whatever you want. But for this one, I'm gonna be using my main branch. So every time I push to my main branch, it's gonna trigger this GitHub workflow, which is gonna go ahead and do all of this stuff. It's gonna check out our code. They're gonna install my CLI, gonna log into my registry. It's gonna build and push my Docker images. After that, it's gonna update my configs. It's gonna apply the services, the deployment, the ingress for my status. And after that, we check the status. So, and we are good. The deployment is complete. You can go ahead and check this out. So this is what I'm going to be trying to show you how you can do it, but you can of course use any like AWS, anything you want. But in this one, I'm going to be using DigitalOcean because I use it. This is what I use. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So yeah, let's just get started. All right, so this is the API I'm going to be deploying. As you can see, this is a TypeScript API, Express API. And inside of this, I have my main file as the app.js. I have my .env, which means I'm using some environment variables. And I have my Docker compose, which I was using to use my MongoDB locally. But now let's go ahead and create a new Docker file, which is gonna be this Docker file is gonna be defining on how we wanna build our images. So our Docker image. So I'm gonna do from. So this from will tell Docker to start with existing a container, or you can call that like a box that is already has a Node.js version. So for this one, I'm gonna be using Node 18. I'm gonna be using Node version 18. Okay, so this Node.js will help us learn our code just like we was using in our local machine. After that, we're gonna do working directory. So working directory, we're gonna go to you're gonna user src and the app. So this working directory is inside the container. So it will be on user src app. This one is like how can I say it? It's like saying let's do everything in this folder. So all our future commands will like happen inside of this. Okay, and after this, you can do copy. So this one will copy, let me copy my package.json. So package.json, I can just do JSON, and I can just put it a star at the end. So this will copy my package.json, and the package lock.json. So which these files which list dependencies this app needs. So for later on, if we need to install the dependencies we need, it will just happen and it will find them in the package.json defined, so it can just install them. And this one is gonna be run npm install. Okay, so once we have copied the package.json inside the container, this command will install all dependencies or libraries you are using that listed in your package.json for the npm. So for this, we are using npm as a node package manager. Okay, and after that, we can do copy. So this copy the list of the apps files, or all the apps inside of your app. So the entire folder with your code inside the container of my working directory, which is this one. Okay, and after this, because I'm using TypeScript, I have to build my app. So I'm gonna do run npm run build. So this process will build and compile or optimize the app for production. Okay, so since we're using TypeScript, we have to build this because TypeScript is just for our development, but when we want to go to production, we have to build this and it will turn this into JavaScript code. Okay, so after this has run, we can expose where our app is running. So mine is running on 8080 as the port. Okay, so this will tell Docker that the app will use the port 8080 inside of this container. Okay, so it's just like saying this app will be available on port 880 when it lands. So you basically get the idea, I hope. And finally, we can run command. This is the command npm start. Okay, so this command will lands to start the app. It's basically tell Docker, so run npm start, just like you would do in your app or when you're developing it or when you're testing it on your machine. So npm run start, this is what it will do. Okay, so now this is the Dockerfile we're gonna be using. We can go ahead and start building our next file. Okay, so the next file I'm gonna be creating, if you remember my diagram, it's gonna be this one. I'm gonna create this upright deployment. So because we need this before any of this can happen, because if you don't have this file, nothing will go as we want. So we have to first create all of these files. We have to create the deployment, we have to create the service, the ingress, a cluster, and the secrets file. Okay, so let's go ahead and start implementing that file. So I'm gonna go outside of this, inside of my main folder, my root file. I'm gonna create a new folder. I'm gonna call it K8s, and I'm gonna add another folder file. I'm gonna call it deployment.yaml. And inside of this, I'm gonna give it the API version. The API version, which is gonna be the apps v1. So this tells Kubernetes that we are working with an app or application, and we're gonna be using the version of 1. Okay. All right. So after this, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a kind. So kind. This is gonna be a deployment kind, and this kind of deployment is a way to tell like Kubernetes, like keep running an app and how many copies to run. Okay, I hope it's clear. All right. After this, I'm gonna give it some other metadata. So I'm gonna give it metadata. I'm gonna give it a name, and I'm gonna call it node app. Okay, so I'm gonna call it this node app, and this metadata is like just giving the identification to our app. So for us, we're gonna be calling it a node app, so Kubernetes can just know how to call this one. Okay, and this is for us later when we wanna check if the app is running, etc. Okay, so this is all it's doing for metadata. And after the name, I can go here, I can give it spec, can give it the replicas, replicas. For replicas, let me see how much do we need. I'm gonna give it 2. Okay, so basically here we are saying like hey Kubernetes, please make sure this app is always running 2 copies or instances. So if one fails, the other one is still running, so we can keep our application online or application available. All right. After this, I'm gonna go still on the same line here. I'm gonna give it selector, and I'm gonna do match labels. I'm gonna give it the app. I'm gonna call it Node app. Okay. I'm gonna call it Node app. Let me see here. Make sure the formatting is important here, because if you mess this up, it's gonna give you some weird errors and you're gonna be wondering why. All right, so the match labels and the app of the Node app. Okay, so this is just like saying find the name, find the app which has the name of Node app to work with, so we can just work with that. Okay, and after that I can go outside, and on the same line as the selector, I can do template, I can do add metadata as well. So I'm gonna add metadata, and I'm gonna add labels, and I'm gonna labels, and I'm gonna do app. I'm gonna give it the same name. Okay, so labels, app. Okay, so inside of this template, we are giving like more instruction for each copy. Okay, each copy of the app of the label Node app. So this is like just tagging with it the name, so we can easily identify this on our deployed version. All right. Okay, so let me go outside here, and I can go in the same line as my templates. I can give spec, and I can do containers, and I can give it a name. Name gonna be not match app. The image, same line as the image. For our image. For our image, we have to get this image on our pushed images. So this one, this pushed image, but we don't have that yet. So which means we have to go ahead and create our Kubernetes, our Docker registry on DigitalOcean. So we can come here and look for that when we want to pull this image. Okay, so let's go ahead and just do that. All right. So here on DigitalOcean, you can go ahead and get to this page and make sure you have an account. If you are a new one, you will get, I think, some like free trial. You can test this out, and also make sure you have a project running. So I'm gonna go ahead, and on this container registry, you can go ahead and create a new one. So I'm gonna create a new one. And here you can give it a name. So give it a name. I'm gonna call it DigitalOcean registry. Okay, so you can change your data center. So I'm gonna change the closest to mine. Okay, and for the storage, I will go with this basic one, but you can go with the free one. And I'm gonna create a registry. Okay, my registry is created, and now we can copy this. We can copy this one with our name. Copy this, go back to our code, and now you can paste it here. So the registry is on digitalocean.com, registry the DigitalOcean, and let's give it an identification, which is the Node app, and we're gonna get the latest version. Okay, so this containers, and we have the image. Okay, so this is just like saying go to this place, which is our registry, and get the latest version of the app to run. Okay, so this registry is just a storage space for app version, and the latest is just means the most up-to-date one. Okay, so after this image I can do ports. I get the ports, and I can go with container. Mine is on 8080. My container is on PAP and env. I'm gonna do env from, because we're gonna be adding environment variables separately. So I can give it a space, and also make sure this one is inside of this. And I can give it, and I can just give it the name or secret, env frame. I'm gonna give the reference secret left, and it's gonna have a name of, we're gonna create this later, so we're gonna create node app. We're gonna call it app secrets. This is how we're gonna call our secrets file. And so the env from secret left. Okay, so for this one is like just like securing, like saying use some secret information like passwords, or for us to just our env files we're gonna be putting here. Okay, so after this I'm gonna go outside of here, see on the same line as my containers here, and do image pool secrets. I'm gonna give it name, and I can call it registry, and I can just give it the same name as my registry. So registry, and since this image is stored in somewhere private, so this is just giving the Kubernetes the credentials to access. So okay, so this is all it's doing. It's gonna be pulling from the image in the registry. All right, so this is all we need for now for this file. This is all we need. After this we need, let's see what we need next. So I can go back to my here, and we need the service file. Okay, so let's go ahead and start implementing the service file. Okay, so for our service file, I'm gonna open my folder inside the K8s. I'm gonna add a knife file. I'm gonna call it service.yaml, and inside this we're gonna always start the same. So I'm gonna give it API version, which is gonna be just version number 1. The kind, this one is not a deployment, but it's a service. Okay, this one is a service, not a deployment. So this specifies that we are creating a service in our Kubernetes. So a service is a way like to connect to connect users or other application to your learning inside the cluster. Okay, so like they are learning application inside of a cluster. All right, so now I can go here, can do metadata same as we did before. Gonna do a node, gonna give it node app, and not just node, sorry, and do node app, and I can give it service, so I can know that this is my service, node app service. And I can give it this metadata is fine, name, can give it spec, so spec, I'm gonna do selector, and I'm gonna give the identifier, which is node app dash, and same line on the selector. I'm gonna do ports multiple. I'm gonna give it a protocol, which is gonna be this P, and the port on same line. Sorry, port is gonna be 80, just 80, and for the target port gonna be 880, and this one gonna give it a type of load balancer. Okay, So for this, my spec, so this is, as we saw before, this is like finding the name app which is not app that is already running. So it will link, we can link the service to the app. So this one we deployed here, right? So we are finding this name, so the node app, and we are linking it to this service. Okay. For the protocol, which is TCP, and so this protocol TCP means it uses the standard transmission control. Okay, like standard transmission control protocol, which is this one, which one TCP stands for. And for the port 80 means that when users or external traffic access this service, they will be doing so, and we're gonna go through this port 80, so the default web traffic port. And for the target port means that once the traffic enters through port 80, the service will forward it to port 880, so which is the port my app is running on. Okay, fine. This is all. And for my type load balancer, this is specify how our traffic should be handled. Load balancer, so we make sure the traffic is distributed evenly across the app instances or replicas. Okay, so the replicas we have created in the deployment file, we have defined all of this here. So this one, replicas. Okay, so it make the app accessible from outside of our Kubernetes cluster. So by setting up this load balancer, which often like used it in like cloud environment. All right, so this is all for my service file. And now let's see what file we have to create next. We have to go ahead and create this, the apply ingress. So let's go ahead and just do that. All right, so let's go ahead and start working on our ingress. So I'm gonna go outside, stay inside of this file folder. I'm gonna call this I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna call this ingress.yaml. Okay, so for this one, so I don't think I have explained this one so well. So in this file configuration, so we will define an ingress like in Kubernetes, which is a way to manage external access to your app. Or so this one is usually over HTTP and HTTPS. So ingress provide the rules for routing traffic from the outside world to your app. Okay, so this also enables like things like SSL, TLS encryption for the secure, so we can get access to the HTTPS so connection. All right, so let's go ahead and start implementing this. And we're gonna start the same. So API version for this one is our networking. So networking K8s, and the version we're gonna have it the version of 1. So this will tell the Kubernetes that we are working with ingress resources from the network APIs, so and we can give it the version number 1. And so for the type kind, which is gonna be ingress. Okay, so as you can see, as you saw, we have kind service every time. And for deployment, we have kind as deployment. So for the ingress, this will gonna be the type of our ingress. All right, so the kind is gonna be the ingress. And for this, the kind ingress, so this we are specifying that we are creating an ingress, like which this one ingress is responsible for managing how external users access services inside of our Kubernetes cluster. Okay. So after this one, I'm gonna go inside here. I'm gonna give it metadata, and for the metadata, I'm gonna give it a name. So this is the identification for this one. I'm gonna call it node app, and I'm gonna call it ingress, and I'm gonna give it annotations. And then Kubernetes ingress, I'm gonna be using Nginx, and for the cert-manager manager.io/cluster, and it's gonna be issuer, and we're gonna be using rinse encrypt. But let's do production. Let's encrypt. Let's encrypt prod. So for the Kubernetes IO ingress class Nginx, this tells Kubernetes to use the Nginx ingress controller to handle this ingress. So Nginx is, if you don't know about ingress, Nginx, sorry, let me show you. So the Nginx, Nginx.org. Okay, so this is a very popular software for handling web traffic. So we're gonna be using this Nginx to is an HTTP web server reverse proxy. This cert-manager.io cluster, and it's using Let's Encrypt. So this annotation tells Kubernetes to use cert-manager with the latest encrypt Let's Encrypt issuer to automatically, we're gonna be getting the SSL certificate, which will make my website secure with HTTPS. Okay. So after this, I can go here and I can do spec, get the spec, and I can do TLS. I can go inside of this hosts, multiple hosts, and I can get the domain. So this is where you define your domain. So I'm gonna do, for mine it's gonna be running on .com, and the secret name. So I'm gonna give it secret name is gonna be same line of my host. So I'm gonna call it, I'm just gonna call it node app TLS. Okay. So this TLS, this connection handle up TLS, which stands for transport layer security. So for encrypted communication, which is HTTPS. So the host is the domain. So this specifies that you want to apply TLS for the domain, which is this one. So the domain apicalendar.com. You can go ahead and use yours, and it will be served securely with HTTPS. And for this secret name, we are giving it node app TLS. This the generated SSL certificate will be stored in a Kubernetes secret, and we're going to be calling it node app TLS with the app that can use to serve the secure HTTPS. All right. So let's go ahead and keep working on this. So I'm gonna go after this. I'm gonna go here, still on the TLS. I'm gonna give it some rules. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do host, single host, and I'm gonna do api.calendar.com and HTTP. And the path gonna be slash, and the path type prefix, and the backend it's gonna be have service. So we're gonna have service with the name node app service, and the port number is gonna be on the port 80. Okay, so what is this all of these rules? So this define like how cloud traffic based on the domain name and path. So the host, which is your domain, this specifies that the ingress rule applies to requests coming to my domain. Okay. And the HTTP, which one? This one, the HTTP path. So this tells Kubernetes how to handle HTTP requests. Okay. So this path, the slash path, this means that any request to the root of your domain should follow this rule. So it covers all URLs on your website. Okay. And for the path type, which is prefix, this means the rules will apply to any request that starts with this base URL, so which is the slash, the base URL. And this for the backend, this tells the ingress where to send the traffic. Okay, so the service, and we're giving the name. So this specifies the traffic should be routed to Kubernetes service named node app service. So which is the name we defined area inside here. Okay, so this is where it will be served. Okay, and for the port, this says to route the traffic to the port 80, which is where the service is listening to. Okay, yeah, so this is all for our Ingress file, and we can go ahead and start working on our next file, which is this one, apply cluster issue. So let's go ahead and just do that. All right, so let's go ahead and start working on this. So I'm gonna go open my sidebar. I'm gonna go here, and this file is gonna be called cluster issue.yam. Yeah, so as we always start, the API version, this one is gonna be for a certificate manager. So I'm gonna do set manager.io v1. The kind is gonna be cluster issue, gonna be metadata, and it's gonna go ahead with a name, which is the let's encrypt prod. Okay, for the spe, make sure you're on the same line. For the spe, I'm gonna give it the me. And for the server, I'll go with the server, which is this one, v1 0 script directory.org. For the email, and you can go ahead and give it this one, make sure this is the correct email address, and I'm gonna do private secret keyref, and it's gonna be the name. And for my servers, let's encrypt as http1 ingress class nginx. Okay, so this file for like cluster issuer, this is our configuration defines like cluster issuer in Kubernetes, which is used by certificate manager to automatically request and manage SSL certificates from Let's Encrypt. So this makes sure that my app can serve traffic securely via HTTPS. Okay, so the API version, this tells Kubernetes that we are working with the certificate manager API, so specifically the version number 1. And for the kind is a cluster issuer. So cluster issuer is a resource that can issue SSL certificate across the entire Kubernetes cluster. All right, so it's like a global resources that any app in the cluster can use to get certificates, unlike an issuer which is limited to a specific namespace. So for the metadata, we are giving it the name of Let's Encrypt. So this gives the cluster issuer the name Let's Encrypt prod. So it's why am I putting this prod? So it's common to use like prod to refer to the production version. So as opposite to staging or test version. And for the spec, as you can see, I'm giving this the ASME. So this section will define the use of ASME, which is the stand for Automatic Certificate Management Environment. So this is the protocol that is used by Let's Encrypt to automatically issue and manage SSL certificate. Okay. So for the server, we are going to this server. So this points to the production server of Let's Encrypt. So this is where the certificate manager will go to request, and also when we want to renew the certificates. For the email, so this is the email you want to use. It's required by Let's Encrypt, so it can send you notifications such as renew reminders or issues with the certificates, stuff like that. Okay, so for the private secret left name, this specifies the private key for certificate, like which is crucial for security. Okay, so this will be stored in Kubernetes cluster, Kubernetes secret, which is called Let's Encrypt prod. So the private key is a part of the SSL certificate, and it is used to encrypting and decrypting the traffic. Okay, so for the this final one, which is the servers, so the HTTP01 this is this specifies that cert-manager will use the HTTP O1 challenge to verify the domain ownership. So in simple terms, this Let's Encrypt will send a special request to specific URL on your domain to confirm that you control it. Okay, so it's yours. And for the ingress and the class is Nginx, so this will just tell the certificate manager to use an Nginx ingress to handle the HTTP O1 challenge. When Let's Encrypt sends request to verify the domain, the Nginx will route the request to the correct place so the verification can be success. Okay, so this is all is happening here, and I can go ahead and let's see our next file. For this secrets, we're gonna be creating them with the GitHub deployment. So we're gonna create this with GitHub deployment file. So I think we can go ahead and start working on our GitHub workflow. Okay, so let's go ahead and just do that. All right, so before you go ahead and start creating our GitHub action, you can go back to the DigitalOcean, and we can go to the Kubernetes, and let's create a new file and a new cluster, a new Kubernetes cluster. And I'm gonna create this, give it data center, and leave this as default. You can change this. Okay, and for my nodes, I'm gonna go with 3 of them, and all of this can stay by default. For the name, I'm gonna just give this, so DigitalOcean cluster. The project, I'm gonna select my project, and for the tags, I can leave that as default. So I'm gonna go ahead and create cluster. Okay, so this is, we have it now. Good. So we can go back to our code, and let's close this up. And let me go here. I'm gonna create a new folder. I'm gonna call it .github, and inside of this, I'm gonna add a new folder called workflows. And inside of this, I can get my deploy.yaml. Okay. Let's close this, and we can define the name. So I'm gonna name it. Okay. Wow. DigitalOcean. All right. Okay. So on. So when we push, which branch? When we push the branches, the branch is gonna be the main branch. So this is when we wanna trigger this. Okay. I wanna trigger this when I push to my main branch. Good. I think this is okay. All right. So I can go here. I can give it jobs. So the jobs gonna be the first one. So we're gonna call it build and deploy. Okay. So it's gonna learn. Where do we want to learn this? I want to learn this. So learns on. Gonna be learning on Ubuntu latest version. Gonna be learning on Ubuntu, and here you can go ahead and let me just put it here. I'm gonna ahead and put steps. So the steps of this process, and I can define uses. So the action, check out this the version I'm gonna be using, and I'm gonna go outside of this, still on the steps. I'm gonna give it a name. So name. This gonna be, first step, we're gonna install the CLI of DigitalOcean, which is .ctl. Okay, and so we're gonna use their versions. So we're gonna do DigitalOcean action.ctl. The version is 2. And how do we want to authenticate? So we're going to use a DigitalOcean access token. So we're going to be setting up this to our GitHub secret settings. So we're going to do that later. So DigitalOcean access token. and still okay. So let me format this, looking good. So this is how we wanna install when we authenticate, and go here. So for the name again, and this one's gonna be, we're gonna log in to DigitalOcean container, DigitalOcean container, so container registry. And when we learn to that, when we log into the container registry, we're gonna do learn .ctl registry login, and we can get expiry. So expiry gonna be expiry seconds, gonna give it 60. And after this, I can do learn another one, so I can build my Docker files, my Docker images. So build push Docker image. Okay, so I'm gonna build and push Docker images, and here you can just do env. So I can later on use this. So you can call it registry name. You can just give this name of your registry. So DigitalOcean, sorry, not this one, but for my registry, for the container registry. So I'm gonna copy this name here, and I'm gonna paste it here. Okay, I'm gonna paste this here, and I'm gonna run. So I want to outrun multiple commands, so I put that line, and I'm gonna do Docker. I'm gonna build first, so build -t, and let me get this. So build build, and I'm gonna do paste this here, register.com, but we already have this name defined on top, so I can do registry name. Can just give it this registry name inside of this registry name, and it's gonna be called node-app, and can get the GitHub sh, and I'm gonna give it, then forget this dot on the end. And after you have built, we need to push, so we're gonna do docker push registry digitalocean.com registry name node-app. Yeah, so this is all we need for building and pushing our images to my registry. And I can go outside of this, I can do the new step. So this step is just gonna be for this step we're gonna save DigitalOcean. We're gonna set DigitalOcean kube config, so kube config. Okay, so we're gonna run a command which is learn. The command is .ctr because we're already inside this, so we're gonna do .ctr, and we're gonna do Kubernetes Cluster. I'm gonna run this command kube config, save, and here we can define our we can get our cluster name. So let's go back to the Kubernetes and go inside of this. I'm gonna get this name, save, paste it here, sorry, just here. Okay, why is it putting it here? It's a DigitalOcean cluster. Okay, and I can go back here, I can do another one, so I can run another command, another step. I'm gonna do update deployment file. So I'm gonna update my deployment file after this. So I'm gonna go on env, and just set env if you want, or do we need to do this? Env So the same thing as this one. Okay. Okay, so the env, and I can go after this. I can add learn command. So learn, and the command's gonna be the learn set command -e as image registry digitocean.com. Then my registry name, the node app. Let me remove this. The node app. After the node app, I'm gonna do dot style, and I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get the image, which is registry DigitalOcean. Okay, registry digitocean.com. Then the registry name, which is node app, and I can remove this again after the node app. Okay, after the node app, I can do add this, and inside of this can add as, okay, so github.sh, and I can get this file. Let me just remove this K8 deployment YAML. Let me see if we are doing this correct way. So we have this here. I have this symbol, quotation mark, github.com. Okay, and we should have 1, 2. Okay. This command may give us issues if it's not correct. So make sure, I'm just making sure this is correct. So GitHub. All right. So yeah, this is the command. So this is all the work command. We're gonna be getting our file in the K8s folder. Okay. So after this, you can go inside. Can run another step. So this one, I'm gonna be installing our certificate manager. So install certificate manager. So I'm gonna learn this command. So learn kubectl apply -f. We're gonna go on GitHub, and for my certificate manager, I'm gonna be using the one from cert-manager themselves. So let me get this, and I can go here, paste this command. So kubectl github.com/cert-manager again, releases, download, the version is 1.12, and cert-manager YAML. Okay, after this I can do okay, so I'm gonna be running multiple commands. So I can add this, and I can put this on the bottom. Can run another command here. I can do kubectl wait for condition. The wait is ready condition for the pods, and set manager all, and give timeout of 300 seconds. Okay, so after this I can add run another one. I'm gonna call this, gonna wait for certificate manager to be ready. Can learn this command. So learn kubectl wait for condition. Let me run established, and I can try this is for to manager. There it is. and I can do all CRD and timeout 300 seconds. Okay, so I can go here, can do another one. So this is where we're gonna be creating our environment variables. So I'm gonna do create and apply this secret. So here we're gonna define my env. So env. Okay, so let me just get that. My env files, because I have a lot, so I can do this. Okay, so this is how you can define your environment variables. So if you have any environment variables, this is how you put them, and we're gonna be getting them inside of GitHub secrets of this repository. Okay, so I'm gonna go outside of this and I'm gonna do run command. So what we wanna apply this, we're gonna create a new folder. We're gonna create a new file, sorry, inside of K8s. So I'm gonna do cat -eof and this line here K8s app secrets. We're gonna create this file app secrets.yaml and can call it feed, because it's gonna be feed. Okay, I'm gonna give it the API version of 1 and the kind secret metadata. Make sure I spell this correctly. Metadata. I'm gonna give it a name app secrets. So make sure this is the name we gave to our deployments, and anywhere we was using this. For the type, I'll give it the type of opaque, and for the data, yeah, for the data we're gonna get this, but they're not gonna be like this. So let me just move this. I'm gonna do data, and here I'm gonna do MongoDB URI. It's gonna be equals to $sign, and I'm gonna do equal and equal /n MongoDB URL. Okay, MongoDB URL is gonna be on base 64. It's gonna have the view and 0. So MongoDB URL equal and MongoDB URL. So it's gonna be the same for other all of we have left. Okay, good. All right, so for this is my last one, Stripe webhook, and after this I can go here and on the same line as on data can do EOF and can apply this. So Kubernetes apply -f. I'm gonna apply this file and I'm gonna remove any existing ones. So remove K8 fields. Okay, so this one is just clean up. Okay. And after this, gonna add another one. So this one is gonna be we're gonna apply this. So apply all our Kubernetes manifest. So I'm gonna run all my commands. So all the files we defined here. So all these files here, we're gonna run them. So we're gonna run deployment. The second one is gonna be services, and I'm gonna copy this down more times. After the services, we need the ingress, and after that, we need the cluster issuer. issue.yaml. Okay. And after this, you can go ahead and run another one. So this one, what is gonna be, is gonna be check my deployment status. Let me see. I think we are missing a step. Yeah, we can apply the issuer here. But already applying it. Let me just in case, cluster issuer. Okay, so I'm gonna run this one. Still apply /f create cluster issuer.yaml, and finally here, not finally, but yeah, so I'm gonna do check deployment status. I'm gonna run this command. So I'm gonna run the first one is gonna be rollout command, status command. I'm gonna get the pods, and also I can get I'm gonna get services first. I'm gonna get my services, and also I can do ctr ingress. Okay, so if there's any issue when this is working, when this was running, I can run this command. So check node app logs. I'm gonna check my logs. I'm gonna run this on if is failure. Okay, so only if there's issue. So I'm gonna run this command to check. So and do kubectl and logs. I'm gonna do logs /n, and I'm gonna go to my app name. I'm gonna add there of 100 seconds. I'm gonna run the last one. So this one is just the agnostic information, so we can get the information we need. If failure, we're gonna do run kubectl get namespaces, kubectl get pods /r namespaces, and kubectl get CIDs, and kubectl describe cluster issuer, and you get the name of let's encrypt production. All right, so this is all we need for this file, and this one we can go ahead and start deploying this, but we have to create these file secrets, and we have to provide all of these secrets or any secrets you have inside of the GitHub config. All right, so on my GitHub page, I can go ahead and create a new repository for this. So I'm gonna go ahead and just create a new repository. So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna call this Node API like this. Just call it like this. Okay. I'm gonna give it all of this as default. So create. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and do GitHub init. So I can go here and do git init. Okay, and make sure you have .gitignore, and add all files you want to be ignored inside of this. Okay, the file you don't want to push on GitHub. So after git init, we can go here and do git add all. I can do git commit message. It's gonna be first commit, boom, and before we go ahead and push this, let's go in the settings, and we have to provide this DigitalOcean access token and all of these settings. Okay, so let me go here in settings, and in the secrets and variables, in actions, go ahead and add a new repository secrets. So I can go here and add this here, and to get this secret key, what you have to do is go to DigitalOcean settings page and go to this API. Click on API and you're gonna take you to the tokens page. So you can go ahead and generate a new token, give it a name. So you can go to GitHub Actions key. You can set the scopes, you can give it the full access, and here you can go ahead and generate your token. And once you have generated the token, go ahead and paste it inside of your GitHub Actions settings. Alright, so I have added mine, and now you have the idea of how this will work. So you can go ahead and add all the list of your configurations. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this, my GitHub URL, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing to all of my other configurations. Okay, so go ahead and do the same thing. Alright, so I went ahead and added all my secrets file, and now I think we can go ahead and push this. So I can do git push, and I'm gonna push to main register, main branch, and I can go on this, and let's refresh this again. Yeah, as you can see, there's some actions. So let's see what's gonna happen if you have any issues. And as you can see, it's installing all the commands you defined, and now it's pushing my files to Docker images, to Docker registry. So it's building, and after it's gonna push. Okay. Okay, so we have an issue on a building command. So let's see what we did wrong inside of our Docker file. So let me go back to my code and Dockerfile. So it's saying that this is related to npm not being able to find a file. Okay, it's not finding the file. Which one? Okay, so OK directory src app copy JSON. Oh yeah, this style should be here, so it can also copy the package log.json. So let's put it here, package.json, copy my star. Yeah, so this was an issue, a mistake I did, and now I can go ahead and push this again. So git add on git commit message issue inside file and do git push. Alright, so hopefully this will fix our issue, and I can go here and go back here, and I can go where my command is running. I can check this. So this is now it's running again, the Docker command, but as you can see, we have succeeded, logged in, we have installed this, and now it's on this step of building. So this time we should work without an issue. So now you can see it copied my command, my package JSON. Now see, I've installed this. Now it's building. Okay. So this is what's happening. Good. It's waiting for this to push it to the Docker. So if you check, if we check our DigitalOcean, and if you go to the container registry, we should be able to see something. Not yet. Let me refresh this. Okay, so it has not yet pushed anything. So let me go back here. It's still pushing. Okay. Okay, so it has pushed and now it's installing the certificate manager, and also it has updated our deployment file, and now it's installing our certificate manager here on this command. Okay. Yeah, this will succeed to save the configuration. Now we are on the certificate manager step, and now it's waiting for the certificate manager to have this connection. Okay, we have some issue again. And condition. So there's an issue in no such file. Command work get on the line 18. We have issue on this line 18, so saying there's no such file. Let's go back inside of this. So we're learning, so the LAN cat. Oh yeah, I'm forgetting something here. So this should have this, and also should not have this pipe. And I can go here, app, secrets, /mid, API version. Okay. And after this, I have this command, EOF. Alright, so make sure you add this and remove the pipe we added here. I wanted to create this file inside of this folder. Okay. Git add or git commit. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if this will work this time. Okay. But as you can see, this file was created, but you have another issue here. Okay. So this time it's saying server request when creating service.yaml in service version cannot be handled as service strict true to protocol. So inside of our service, do we have what did we call this? Let me go back to my code and open my K8 service. So app is version 1 and kind. This should be protocol, not protocol. PROTOCOL. Okay, protocol on the port. Yeah, this is where the issue is. It's not easy working with these files, guys. You never know where your issue is. So let's hope this fixes it. So git add git commit the message typo in service and git push. Hopefully this will fix it. All right, let me see. Okay. Let me see. Let's see. Come on. Come on, no errors. I'm done with errors. Okay. All right. I'm checking the deployment status. This time we are waiting for the deployment status, which is not up to finish. So one out of new replicas have been updated. Okay. But let me check my Docker. Yeah, we have this one. And also for my Kubernetes, I should see something. We go inside here. We have 3 nodes running. Okay. Can go inside of this. Where is this command to check deployment status? Check deployment status, node deployment, node app. Okay, so it looks like this is stuck here. It's not going anywhere. What I can do, I can go back to my deploy file, and after this check deployment status, let me add another step. Let me see where is it. So this one, check deployment status. Okay. Let me add another step to check my status. So name, check status, and do run. Let me add multiple commands for this. Can do run kubectl get pods and app node. All right, app node slash and the wait. So can do kubectl and describe pods app. Okay, describe pods. Okay. And let me add another step here. Can do check cluster status, which is just gonna run this. So I'm gonna do this command kubectl, and we're gonna do not status but events. Cluster events. So I can do cluster get events, and can do sort. We can sort this by dot last timestamp. Okay, so this is the command we wanna run, and for check our node or pod logs. Let's see does this, and let's deploy this again. So I can do, let me stop this. Oh, this is stuck, so I can't workflow. I can do git add git commit. All right, let me see this. So I made a typo. Oh wow. It said repository pod status. Repository pod status. We are running GitHub get kubectl get pods -r. This r. That's not, can be I. And we're checking the app nodes. Oh, this is supposed to be just one. Just single, yeah. Single wide. Same thing here. Okay. Wow. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, there's an issue. This is our pod status. There is an issue here on the bottom. Here, so there is here with error pulling the image. We have any issue here. So let me try to see what's the issue. Okay, so seems like it's some kind of permissions error, or it's not being able to get this. Okay, so let me see. Do we need to add another step for us to log in? Okay, so let me see. So here we are logging into the registry, and that's it here, registry login. Okay. Okay, maybe let me add another one. I can do create image for secret, and we can do run multiple commands, and I'm gonna run kubectl create secret and Docker registry, DigitalOcean registry, and let me see, why is it giving it like this? So Docker registry, may remember this one. Can give it registry, registration registry, and I can do Docker. Okay, this is fine. Docker server registry.digital.com. The username, this is gonna be our email, so the email used when logging in, and I think this should be okay. And you can do continue on error to true. Okay, good. So after this we can run another one, and I can call this update image secret, and you can run multiple commands. You can run this one or this one, but I can do ctr create secret register DigitalOcean, ctr create it again. Okay, so again same thing. All right, good. DigitalOcean registry. Right, so I hope this will fix it, and we have to provide this inside of our settings. So I'm gonna go here, set my settings, and I can go on deploys the script actions, add another one for my DigitalOcean username. I'm gonna give it my email. I can go here, and this one I'm gonna cancel it, so cancel workflow, cancel. Oh, all right guys, so I spent some time debugging this, and I have added some few more steps, and I'm gonna show you what I did. I added this step to delete our existing resources. As you can see, we're gonna delete this because I was getting any issues with this, so I'm gonna delete this. And after that, I'm connecting to my DigitalOcean as we did before. This one for username, you put your email, and for the password, you can put the access token. We already have this in the step one, and this one stayed the same, creating our services, and this one for deployment status. And here we are waiting for the load balancer external IP, so we can get it and add it in our DNS records settings. So we wait for this until we get the external IP. We can go ahead and to our domain provider and add that. Okay, and here we can get the logs, and here we can get the summary of this. So we get the external IP, the services, etc. And here we can get the logs. Okay, so I'm gonna leave, of course you can get this work file in the link in the description below. And yeah, so let's go ahead and check if this will work for us. All right, so let me go in my terminal and do git add or, and I do git commit whatever, and git push origin. Okay, and now I can refresh this, and as you can see, it's as before, it's going into the first steps, and it got logging to my Docker, it's got the images. Okay, so this is what we're doing before. Okay, so now we're on the step to treat our resources, whatever. Okay, so now we're creating the image, updating the deployment side, and we're applying the manifest. The secrets are created, and now we're checking the deployments. So as you can see, we're waiting the first one run, the first service, and the second is done. And for the external IP is pending, so it's not ready yet. And now we are running this step to wait for it to be ready, and we can go ahead and change our domain DNS settings. Okay, so let's go ahead and wait for this to be ready, and you can see the results. All right. Okay. All right, good. So we have our external IP for our load balancer, and we have the status, and successfully we have created the certificate successfully. So the type is normal certificates, it's good, this looks good, and we have to of course change this in our DNS records. And deployment status, we have our external IP, so this is the IP we need, and everything looks good. And as you can see, my server is running and is connected to MongoDB, so this means it's good. And now if we take this external IP, if we take this, paste it inside here, I should be able to access my application. So as you can see, I have access to it, and I have a route which is help. I got this, and as you can see, I get okay. So now what you have to do, you have to take this IP and go to your domain provider, anything you are using. I'm using Hostinger, and so go to the DNS manage records and add a new record. So I'm gonna add the type is A, and for the name I'm gonna do API, because I'm using this as my how you call it, I'm adding this to my API. So if I go to my Ingress, as you can see, I'm using this as the name, and also it's gonna point to my external IP. So add the external IP that you got. Okay, so this IP here, the IP you get after the logs, of course. Okay, so I'm gonna go back here, and here you can leave it by default, and I can add these records. So add this. Yeah, and now that means if we go to our server, if we go to this api.calendar.com, we should be able to access the internet with our settings. So let me paste this here. Yep, perfect. But as you can see, the DNS take time to the certificates take time to access, so that's why it's like this. But later on we come to be HTTPS. But as you can see now, it's good, it's working as we wanted. So we just have to wait for this to be ready, and certificates will apply, of course. And yeah, so guys, this took a lot of time, but that's how it's like. But we got our Node API deployed with Kubernetes and Docker. So yeah, I think everything looked good. We got our services running, we got our certificates manager running, we got everything working as we wanted. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, see you in the next one. And yeah, just take care.